Welcome to Dragonspine Cycling. Sitting down with some exciting up-and-coming juniors in Chicago. I'm Jack Peck.
And I'm Omar Nelson, and you guys know me already. You guys have seen me around. I'm from Chicago Cycling Network, and we're here to have some fun and to learn about these guys and to just continue to just talk about amazing things about them because I called it and Phil a long time ago, and I'm meeting Jack, and he's right next to becoming pro. And we're going to hear all about it, so no worry. So, Jack, take it away.
So I'm Jack Peck, a cyclist out of Palatine, Illinois, in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. I'm an ultra cyclist by nature. I've done one crit in my life, and that ended with a broken collarbone, so I prefer to go long. I host a few races in the Chicago area. The Mishigami Challenge, which is a 1,121 mile race around Lake Michigan. And then a new one for 2025 is an off-road race out in the Driftless region in western Illinois, and that one's the Driftless Dagger. It's a lot shorter. It's 550 miles with roughly 40,000 feet of climbing, and that one's in September of this year. What about you, Omar?
I don't race. As you guys know, I'm really kind of a promiscuous cyclist. I own a lot of the jerseys. I'm not in a team, so there's no conflict of interest. I just like to bike, have fun, and meet new people. So just name the team, and there's a good chance I have the jersey. And I just like to, show up to the different groups' rides and help them to push the pace and just have fun and try to win some sprints every now and then whenever I can, and try to inspire people while I'm just out there having fun. And that's one of the main things that I do. Yeah, not much in racing, and I thought about doing some crits, but I am too old, and my Wolverine healing power is not as good as it used to be like you juniors. So I stay from crits, but hopefully one day I'll do some more like gravel riding. Never know, I might do the Mishigami, Minigami, Drift Dagger. You never know, you might see me out there. So that's a little bit about me, but really it's coming from a runner's background to cycling and trying to bring that fitness into keeping up with you young kids. So we have Jack here and we have Phil, and we're going to learn about them. So how you guys are doing today?
Yeah, similar to Omar, I came from a running background. I've been cycling for like three years. I'm a Chicago local, and right now I'm on the Hot Tubes Junior Development Team. So trying to make it that next step, go pro.
All the best, all the best.
Impressive. Yeah, my name's Phil. I rode an Unofficial racing team. We ride out of Lincoln Park Specialized. I live in Skokie. I've been riding for like 2 years, so I did a Chicago Great last year. I did Lake Bluff. Omar was cheering me on. I got third at that one, and I really enjoyed it, so I'm on the race good this year.
Yeah, it's awesome. And you don't ride like you've been riding for 2 years because you're killing it out there. So that's pretty impressive. So can't wait to see when you say I'm biking for like 3 years or 4 years, and like, 4 years, Phil is a pro. So exciting to see about that.
World tour by then.
Yeah.
He's Mateo Jorgensen. I'm Matthew Sheffield.
We'll clip that for Hot Tubes.
So Jack, what got you into cycling? What made you take the jump from running to riding?
So actually, I just had lots of injuries as a runner. I think I broke my foot something like 7 times, something crazy. So like the bike was the only rehab I could do, and from then I realized how much more fun riding a bike is than running. So it's just been ever since.
So explain, how do you break your foot 7 times in running?
Okay, the long story is I had like juvenile onset osteoporosis or something. It's like this bone disease where I have low bone density. So my bone density is back up now. Like I crash a lot. I haven't broken a bone yet on the bike. But yeah, just low bone density, lots of stress fractures.
So you're like that move with is it Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis, where the guy, he's a superhero, but his bone break very easily.
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm that guy.
Okay, gotcha. But it's perfect because with low bone density, then you can be just like a really fast rider. You're light.
Super light climber.
Helps that wasp.
Really?
Yeah.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah, it's going back up now, so I'm getting heavier, unfortunately, but.
Well, it's going to be good for sprinting a little bit, so you get the power. So that's good. Yeah, what about you, Phil? How do you get into riding, biking?
I got into it because of my dad. I ride with him, just like not seriously. I would just go eat. And then I started riding at Eric's. If you guys know, Eric's Tuesday night ride. And I met Omar actually. I took a photo with him and Patrick Lino. I was like, oh, you guys are famous. I watched this guy on YouTube. And just came from there. I met a lot of people, and then I'm here now.
Do you think the social aspect of riding is kind of what got you hooked?
Yeah, for sure. Like meeting new people, just talking about what I love, and yeah, just building the network.
And how old are you now?
I'm 17.
17?
Yeah.
So do you have a lot of people your age that you ride with, or is it mainly older?
A lot of people. I mean, there's some people like Jack who are like between here and a different place, so sometimes. But there are always some kids at my school, but they're not like really into it, so it's kind of hard to like bike with people my age. But
It's hard to wait for them after you drop them.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a few cycling juniors in Chicago, but it's mostly us riding with masters or something.
Yeah.
So you guys have like a junior meetup and just hang out with your peers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Junior group ride. That'd be good.
Yeah, because sometimes when we go on these bike rides, we want to stop and have beer, and then you guys can have beer. We kind of feel bad for you guys. So.
Chocolate milk.
Yeah,
The chocolate milk.
soda and chocolate milk.
Well, maybe a little bit of coffee or something
Yeah,
like that. But yeah.
Big on coffee.
So what do you tell like your peers at school when you talk about riding bikes?
I do online, so I don't really have peers at school.
Okay.
But all my friends think it's cool. I tell them I've ridden for Team USA, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool," and then like that's it. Yeah. But
Yeah, for me, like, I recently just got into it, so, it's like, I thought it was like weird because, like personal branding, a lot of people like, it's like, oh yeah, like that guy plays football, whatever. But I feel like it was weird for me to be like, oh, like, yeah, I like bike. And then it's like, oh, you like bike or like bike, you know? So then I kind of, I recently just started posting on my story, and then, I was in the locker room and they were like, oh, Phil, what's up? How's biking? And I was like, oh, like people like my social is actually a really great way to like build my platform, because I already have like all these people I know, and it's like kind of build like connecting with like biking. So it's like Phil is attached to biking. I think it's unique because a lot of people like we were talking about, a lot of people my age don't bike that much, but it's kind of unique. It's like different from football or basketball.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing sometimes to go against the gradient, like, because everybody's expecting you have a certain build, a certain height, certain look.
Yeah.
You should play basketball, you should do this, but sometimes you go against the gradient and just make your own niche for yourself, and you'll stand out. So it's always sometimes about being, do you want to be a big fish in a little pond, or, do that analogy? So I think what you're doing is actually good. We need more people like you actually to really branch out, because you never know, that might be their calling, their true calling. Look at this guy's with low bone density as a runner, but now he's a superstar about to go to become a pro. I mean, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, the cycling scene's definitely growing for juniors. Like every year, there's so many more kids racing, and it's good to see. Definitely.
What do you think is driving that? Just like more content online, getting people interested, or?
Yeah, to be honest, probably social media. Like being able to see all the things online. Maybe like the Netflix Tour de France documentary. I think just that exposure to cycling is getting a lot more kids into it. Make it not look so much like a old man sport. Make it look a little more fun. Like I feel like people compare it to golf a lot of times from the outside, but I don't know. There's an up and coming generation, and it's fun. So
I know the feeling. I've been riding since I was 10, and without a doubt, I was the youngest person. And people that I was riding with were like my grandpa's age, my parents' age.
Yeah.
And I feel like in the last 5 to 10 years, I've started to age out of that, where I'm starting to be the old guy at 32, which I enjoy, because it's a different culture, and it's kind of a little more fun seeing the transition and just the evolution of
so do you think maybe just the breaking through the financial barrier of actually being able to buy a bike and having parents who can sponsor kids now, because like we were talking before, like, parents are the biggest sponsors for junior. So that might be one of the things that's helping now, maybe have more affordable bikes now, might be pushing it a little bit, because
that affordable bike?
Yeah,
I know, right? I mean, so before I became a cyclist, I was a runner, and I really wanted to get a bike, but I was living in Miami, and one of the things that I saw in Miami was like all my friends have these amazing bikes. One, because we live in Miami, so all the bikes were like $10,000 and above. I mean, the coolest, nicest bikes. So that was my perception, that all bikes were expensive, not realizing I could actually get a really nice bike for like $500. So it wasn't until I moved to Chicago and I started looking around, started learning about bikes. I'm like, wait, you can get a bike for $400. So my first bike that I bought was $400. and I was keeping up with all the people I was biking with, and as I get better and better, of course, you know, get better biking. You know, you learn about aero bike versus endurance, and you start learning about these little things, and then you start evolving as a cyclist. But I think learning that, you know, you can actually, there's inexpensive options out there that might get people to start get into cycling, because people think it's just an expensive sport.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of. But if you learn a few things, you can actually do pretty good in the sport. So yeah.
I mean, there's still, I would say cycling is still a high barrier to entry. Like I've got Tiagra groups out of my road bike, and I'm still dropping people. So I think it's kind of fun when people are riding around on $15,000 bikes.
Yeah, I have a Tiagra. My Mad One, not Madone, but Mad One. I'm running a Tiagra group set, disc brake on it, and when I bought a group set, I think people were like saying, "Don't get this, get blah blah." I'm like, no. I put the work in on my body, not the bike.
Yeah, I think you just got to start riding your bike more and not pay so much attention to the equipment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a black hole.
Yeah. Once you start, you can't stop.
Yeah. But I mean, one thing that's nice is that there's a lot of options for bike shops in Chicago, especially Dragonspine has a very curated selection of stuff. So it is nice to have places to go that are focused towards people that do want to go faster, but also be thoughtful about how they're spending their money.
Yeah.
It's kind of a tough balance, but definitely appreciate the thought that goes into that.
Yeah. Also, like as a racer and as a junior, Evo's been helping me like on my way up. And like even just a couple of weeks ago, the MV wheels back there, our team's sponsored by MV, but MV couldn't get them to me quick enough. So Evo just lent me a pair of wheels and I was able to go race on some fast SES ones.
Did you win?
My teammate did. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
It's a win.
Hey,
Teammate. Yeah.
Team. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
That's good to know that, you know, you have people like Evo again. Just you can always make a phone call to us, say, hey, I need this, or I need like a heart rate monitor, or I see something online but it's not available. It's like, I ordered it, and then 2 days later he just come and pick it up from the shop. I think that's pretty nice to have. So Evo, thanks again. No matter what you say, keep up the good work.
He's a good resource. It's good to see what he's building too. Just a small shop, supporting teams, supporting up and comers like yourselves, because it is such a high barrier. You know, having that support goes a long way.
Yeah. It was super interesting to me. Like, I literally biked with Evo for a while, and I would see him and I would wave at him down the street, like at Sheridan. I was like, oh, like this guy also owns a bike shop, so it's like I could just ask him for like, oh, like what do you think about this? Like, should I buy this bike? Should I buy these wheels? It's nice to have that advice.
Yeah, and I think that's actually, I was telling you this all the time, but I think this is one thing that's very unique about him, is that not only does he own a bike shop, but he rides bike. And he connects on that level, so it makes it that's good to reach out to him, and let's have him in the network of people can reach out to, and they help you guys. I mean, you know, he's really trying to invest in juniors, and he's really pushing that, and I'm excited to see what he's going to help you guys, and I hope we can help you guys, whether it's getting sponsorship for some of the big brands out there. And I know you guys are going to be result oriented, because as I tell my son, you know, the old psychology of mankind work is that we tend to bid on the horse that already won the race. So if you guys are winning and people start seeing that, the sponsor is going to come to you guys. So I, again, Phil, you got your first podium. That was amazing. And it's going to open up a lot of doors for you. And what Evo is bringing and supporting you, that will also push you a little bit more in the doors and put you out there and give you a platform to you know, talk about yourself, and people can see results. Jack, same thing going to be for you too. I mean, you don't need sponsorship. You're good. You're a person. This is mainly for Phil, right? So hey guys, if you can help Phil out, guys, he's here. He's in the network, and I'm telling you, I called it since 1965. He's the future of Chicago cycling.
Let's go.
Yeah, I remember like I went to Eric's like for the first time, and I took a photo with him and Patrick, and I was wearing this like baggy jersey, and I was riding this like I had this gravel bike, and it was like and I was just riding, and I just had fun. I just had so much fun, and it was like because of Omar, you know.
Yeah, well that's the whole point. We try to you know, uplift, you know, younger generation, because again, you're probably one of the few kids that I ride with in town that I see has the potential to do amazing things, and I've seen your gradual improvement, and then I didn't see you for a couple of weeks, and I came back, and all of a sudden you challenged me in a sprint, and I was like, what? When did this happen?
I did not win.
Oh, shit.
But
Yet.
yet. But it's gonna happen because I'm getting old now, and you're getting younger and faster, and you're putting in the work. I'm trying to put in the work too, but I'm just old. I'm becoming like Master Sifu, so at some point I got to give you that panda transfer from the turtle to panda. So
Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda. So you keep it up. And so Jack, do you have any advice you want to give to Phil? I mean, you've been through the mold.
Yeah, I'd say just like connections is a huge part of cycling.
Yeah.
So building that whole like support network around yourself, whether it be physical therapist, bike shop, like coach, mechanic, just everything. And it helps so much in the long term. So you can focus on riding and what you need to do to get better and faster into that next level, while like having all that support to help you get there.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing. And also, obviously, your parents have to help a
Yeah,
lot
of
with
course.
cycling and the high barrier to entry. But yeah,
So don't be. Bottom line is just don't be shy.
Yeah.
hmm
You're gonna be very humble, but at the same time be very confident. And if you know exactly what you want, you can communicate to any bike shop or anybody based on what Jack was saying, and this will make a big difference in how you will not navigate cycling, but also navigate your life and your career path. Like just having that very confident, stance like a rooster.
yeah. That's exactly it. Yeah.
That's a good point, though. Like, how do you think cycling makes you more confident off the bike? Do you think it improves your mental well-being?
Yeah. I've definitely gotten more confident through cycling. I'd say it's first off, you meet a lot of people, so like there's a way of getting confident like that, but also I feel like on the bike you kind of have to have like a warrior mindset when you get into races, and it's like I'm in a race where I could crash and get really hurt, so I'm not scared of any other situation because like I'm not going to get hurt sitting here doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Like I think it toughens you up a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's good. Yeah.
What about you, Phil?
Yeah, for me, like, it's a lot of mindset things. So, like, when I kind of go through challenges, it's like, okay, like, when I got tired on that ride one time, and then I went out another day, I like didn't get dropped that time. It's like kind of applies to all my other stuff. So it's like this really hard class, and I just like, the amount of work I put in, the consistency, it all works together to help me overcome my challenges, and it helped me a lot to like to really see how. Like I can do things that I think I can't do,
Yeah.
So
You get what you put in.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I find it to be rewarding because you can find new boundaries or push past your previous limitations. But on the flip side, if you get too cocky, it's so easy to get humbled.
Yeah. I know that. I've kissed the floor a couple of times.
Yeah, rubber side down or up, sideways. What's the saying?
Always down.
Always down.
Yeah. Ideally. Yeah.
But even just like, I feel like just in a group ride, like, I don't know, there's times where I've gotten too big for my britches and you get dropped, and then it's a horrible feeling seeing the group. You may not be used to this, but seeing the group kind of pull away from you, and then I don't know, it's a good thing to reflect on, and a little fuel for the fire to keep doing the right things, good habits.
Yeah, that's one rule I have for riding. No matter what, my rule of riding is like just don't get dropped. So I've tried to play my cards right, and so there's a lot of analysis that goes into cycling, and you guys will, Jack can touch on this a little bit more, but like when I go to a bike ride, I'm sizing up all the people in the group, right? I'm gonna go for a sprint. I know who is beside me, I know who's in the group, who can catch me, who cannot catch me, and I know when to launch, when to not launch. So these things help me to even calculate in my personal life when I'm going to make decisions with my family and stuff. It helped me to make decisions and how to navigate life situation with my kids and everything. So cycling might also have that impact on you guys too, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. Because when you're out there and you're going to launch a sprint, and okay, I got 5K to go, and I have XYZ with me. I know what they have, and I know what I have, but I think they have more than me. You know what? Let me go behind them and let them pull me, and then you can take off. So these are the things that I feel you're going to learn over time. That it is so much strategic things that you have to think about.
Yeah.
As George Bush would say, not a strategery. You have to think about. So cycling will really help you in that aspect too.
It also starts to get like more and more innate. Like the more you ride, the more you don't even almost have to think about those things. It's just
automatic
nature at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It kind of leads me to my question. So I come from a baseball background, and it's very much sizing somebody up in a sport like that is a little easier because usually it's literally the size of the human.
Yeah.
So I feel like for cycling, it's so, I'll call it frustrating as someone that's 6'6", because the most unassuming people can just be the biggest bruisers.
Yeah.
So how do you go about sizing someone up in a race and then kind of test how their legs are feeling? Like, what are the things that you look for in a race to kind of know your position and know when to go, who to make a move against or who not to?
A lot of times I guess I don't like looking at like other people. I try to focus on like how I'm feeling myself. And I try to make like my own moves happen. First I might see like he might be a little tired. This guy looks a little tired. Maybe they're not fresh, but I like to like focus on my own race and let them play their cards first, and then I'll pounce and attack or something. But yeah.
Let them play their cards and then show.
Yeah.
Because the house always wins.
Yeah. Don't go too early.
Yeah. You know, at
unless you're Tadej Pogacar.
Then go 80K out or whatever.
Yeah, I remember at Fulton, it was like 5 of us breakaway, and I kind of like it was like maybe like 3 or 4 to go, and I kind of got a gap, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna commit to this, but I didn't realize how I couldn't hold my power.
It's all about like learning what type of rider you are, and like
exactly.
learning your limits, and like if you're a sprinter, breakaway rider, climber, whatever. Yeah.
So what type of rider are you, Jack?
Climber, time trialist. That's it. Yeah. It's just with my smaller stature, it makes me just predisposed to doing that. I'm also getting a little bit of a sprint now, which is interesting.
Okay.
I don't know.
What are you doing to work on that?
Just a lot of stuff in the gym, and then just riding my bike. Yeah. As a junior, I think it's kind of easy because as you're growing and as you keep riding, you just get better and better and better. Yeah. So
see the results a lot quicker.
Yeah. Definitely. So yeah, a lot of people probably put themselves into a box by saying that, but I do think it's important to, if you have a strength, work on it, because that's probably going to be the thing to differentiate you and take you to that next level. So yeah.
I'm a climber at 250 pounds.
Oh yeah, dropping everybody up those climbs.
Yeah, I'm a breakaway guy, typically from getting dropped on the back.
Oh yeah,
that's my breakaway.
You win the reverse sprint. Yeah. Shoot.
So you mentioned that you rode for Team USA. Can you speak to that? Like what event was it?
Yeah, it was so last spring about this time. How like national team selection works in the US is there's like 2 big races at the start of the year, Valley of the Sun and this race in Texas called La Primavera Laga Vista or something. And the national team just looks at how you're doing early season, and then fields like around 10 riders for 3 different trips in the spring to Europe. I was selected on the climbers trip, so that's the second trip in April, and we raced in Italy at this Nations Cup. We raced in Czech Republic at this Nations Cup, and then we did like 2 smaller races in Czech Republic. But it was just it's a good experience because you're surrounded by all the other like best juniors in the nation, and then all the best coaching staff, everything. So
awesome.
Yeah, it's a good way.
Where in Italy did you guys ride?
Same roads as Strade Bianche.
Okay.
So yeah, I crashed pretty hard. I got a really bad concussion on that trip, but nonetheless, it was like good learning experience and really showed me how different those European races are, because they're like a whole nother beast. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So.
And who provide like your cycling gear and all those different things? They provide all this stuff.
Yeah, at that point, it's so where I'm at now, like my parents going up the ranks, they had to provide everything. Like when I was just getting started, I rode for a local team pony shop here in Chicago, but my parents still had to do a lot of support. Now where I'm at with Hot Tubes and like Team USA, flights are covered, bikes, gear, everything. So once you can get to that level, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty
But-
sweet. I need that.
I-
Deal.
Yeah.
I have a dream that one day.
Do they cover bikes for the seniors?
Oh, send your email over to Hot
Yeah.
Tunes. We'll see.
Nah, I'm too old. I'll leave it to you guys.
Yeah.
I just show up to a ride and I don't get dropped and I go back home to my wife and kids. That
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
That's enough.
On
That's your podium.
That's my podium.
Yeah.
yeah.
The Strava podium.
That's my
Yeah.
starter podium.
Right.
Exactly. I try to bike the same route every now and then, so I'm a local legend also.
Yeah.
Strava local legend. You know?
Yeah,
That's
so
the best.
when Omar goes to the ride, it's like, oh, Omar's coming. That's how you know.
Yeah, but I just like to, again, as I said, support riders as much as possible in Chicago. So if I show up to a ride and I see what games you're playing, I will play the game and I will just try to push myself and just help to push other people to say, hey,
Mhm.
as as Jack said before, you think you got a lot, but then get the humble pie. And I've had some of those before, but I think I held my own. And sometimes I had to humble a few people, like, just relax, this is not a race. We're just here to have a good time. And, you put in the work and you help the group so we can all achieve what we need to achieve, which is very important. Something I have to learn too. So because, as you mentioned before that, you think you're a climber, a TT guy, but sometimes you join a team and they're like, you know what? I want you to be our breakaway guy.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Forget about what you think you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what we want you to do. So you have to be somewhat very adaptive and malleable to what the
Mm.
coaching staff say what they think is best. So, and you probably seen that too.
Yeah.
You might say you think you're TT guy, like, no, today you're gonna
Yeah.
be take this role instead, right? So
Yeah.
do you have
That's exactly like the hot tooth mentality. You ride for the team, and if one guy wins, you all win. So it's just like filling in your role as best as you can to support the team. And sometimes like that might mean me going in a breakaway, or sometimes that might mean like me leading out a sprint. So
Yeah.
it really depends. Yeah,
really teamwork's made the dream work.
exactly.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Our teamworks make Tadej Pogacar wins.
He doesn't even need teammates. So.
Exactly. He don't need it, but hey, good stuff. I'm excited. So what do you guys have plans for this year?
This year, I want to start with
Oh
who you
yeah,
got.
yeah. So I'm doing a few gravel races, so Rough Road and Barry Roubaix, and then I really want to win some races at Chicago Grit. So because I got third last place at Lake Bluff, and I got that same like feeling where it was like, oh, like I actually like I'm kind of good at this. So I want to come back there, get the jersey, and win. Yeah.
Solid. Yeah, and then my plans, I've been dealing with a little knee injury ever since our first race in Arizona. So I'm just trying to recover that and get going, get fast for nationals, which is in May. And then after that, like some more Europe trips, Tour of Ireland, the Junior Vuelta, some other races in France, hopefully national team stuff after nationals too, and just getting as much race experience in Europe as I can, because that's really the thing that I've heard gets you to the next level. So
That's awesome.
Sounds
Yeah.
like a good year.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know you do have some crazy riding, so you must have some plans for 2025. What's your plans?
I'm doing a big race in April, Ozark Gravel Doom, 200 miles, 25,000 feet of climbing. I'm not a climber, but
20. Wait, say that again.
200 miles and 25,000 feet. Of
Oh,
climbing.
25,000.
Mm-hmm.
I thought 2,500, 25,000 is insane.
Why, Jack? Why?
Yeah.
Pushing myself.
I guess you are a climber.
No pun intended.
I'm
You're
not,
pushing yourself.
but
Sure.
good way to test the limits.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing the shorter race. I did the long one last year, which was
That's
over
the shorter one?
450,000 feet of climbing.
Jesus.
How tall is Everest?
28,000.
29.
Yeah.
29, yeah.
Wow.
I know because it's because of the Zwift challenge.
Oh,
yeah.
So I know from that.
Yeah, that's my big focus, and then just running or the event director for my other two ultra races. Speaking of which, I know you did some Strava creeping. I saw that
Yeah.
your longest ride is 125 miles. Can you
Oh,
explain
yeah.
yourself? Why don't you ride any longer?
Why don't I ride longer?
You joined your buddy
I think-
Nolan riding from Chicago.
Shoot,
to-
you really dug deep. That was like 2 years ago. I almost forgot about that. Yeah. Damn, I got put on the spot. Maybe I need to do a gravel race. Shoot. Yeah. I say I don't really ride longer than like 6 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, just because all the junior races I'm doing are like 3 hours and less. So
You got
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
structured training that you got to follow.
yeah. Also, there's like something to be said, like as a junior, doing enough training but not too much, because like if pro teams are looking at you when you do go pro, if like you're already doing the pro volume, like how much better can you get?
Yeah.
So you definitely need to balance that and not do like, I'd say 20-hour weeks, 25-hour weeks every week as a junior, because like that's what pros
Yeah.
are doing, and how are you going to get any better if you're already doing that? So yeah.
That's I never.
Yeah, I've never thought
never
about
thought about
that.
that before.
Yeah.
Right? So you really wanna give them just enough, but at the same time hold back a little bit.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it's true. I mean, you at some point if you're doing 25 hours a week and you basically approach your limit or human limit, then no matter what the coach do for you, and
Yeah.
then give you some peds, you're probably gonna go in the faster because you're maxed already.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's a
I
good
mean,
point.
Yeah. I mean,
who actually knows the max though?
Yeah,
can you increase
that's
the
true.
max?
Right. I mean,
That's
there
true.
can be some outliers,
keeps going.
but
Yeah.
outliers come once in every 10 generations of cycling. Like Tadej Pogacar is an anomaly, right?
Yeah.
And that's about it for now.
Yeah.
Until
Mhm.
somebody else. It could be you. You never know.
Or Jack,
Or Jack. You never know.
or both of us. Right?
shoot.
Correct.
The
So
duo.
on that same note, Phil, I noticed your longest ride is 104 miles up to Lake Geneva.
Oh yeah.
How was that? That was last year, right?
He's on this
Oh,
thing.
Lake Geneva, or
Went up to Lake Geneva from Crystal Lake.
oh yeah. That one was fun actually. That was just like more social stuff. So
Yeah.
we were kind of just like talking and like cafe stuff. But yeah, I remember I did North Shore Century. That's like one of my favorite ones. But most of it was like social. So
Yeah.
I want to do something like super huge, but it's a lot of time commitment.
Yeah, definitely.
So Jack, what's your longest ride?
1,100 miles. The Michigan.
Oh my
You
god.
shouldn't have asked me.
Yeah, shoot. Oh my god.
Yeah, all the way around the lake from Chicago
Fuck.
back to Chicago.
And that was
Jeez.
he did it in one day, by the way.
No, 5.
Today Pogacar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the long stuff because, as I mentioned, I'm not much of a crit racer myself. So,
Yeah.
but I guess I should get out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Maybe try it out. We'll see.
You'll have the endurance for
yeah,
sure.
you'll just elbow
Yeah.
everybody out the way.
Yeah, but the problem is I throw off too big of a draft.
Oh.
Everyone just sits on my wheel, and then
I'll just sit behind you then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's your guys' favorite area to ride? So, you mentioned you like doing the North Shore Century. Is that kind of what got you hooked early on? Some of those North Shore roads?
Yeah, honestly, like I remember I would go with my dad to we would go to Fort Sheridan and eat at this like Mexican restaurant, and like I would sometimes my mom is like, so when she first started, she was like, oh, like I only want to ride on the trail and I don't want to ride in the streets, but like I kind of got like used to it. So and like living here in Skokie and like Evanston-ish, like it's like I can just go out. Feel like when I feel like riding and just go north instantly. Like there's no like roads I have to go through to escape the city, kind of, you know.
Yeah, that's nice. What about you?
Yeah.
Jack? What do you like to ride?
I'm riding the heat of the city, so no matter where I ride, I have to ride out of the city. But like everybody likes riding up north, and I think north is great. But what I've done or been doing is sometimes I'll either drive south or I'll ride south, and I'll ride to like Michigan area,
Okay.
and the riding there is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, Southwest Michigan's great.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
take it west. You
Yeah,
go west.
I've gone west too. It's so windy. That's the one thing. If you get
You're
way out
exposed.
there with all the wind turbines, you're like getting knocked off your bike. But definitely like Galena, I've ridden up there. That's
Elizabeth, Savannah.
that-
area,
that's amazing.
Hanover.
yeah.
I
But
recommend.
also even closer to like Geneva area, the riding gets a lot better once you cross over there. Yeah.
Definitely. Speaking about West, I saw that you did was it the Durango Grand Fondo?
Oh, that one. That was the Golden Grand
Oh,
Fondo.
Golden.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
got 6th place in that?
Yeah, that was like 2022 too. Yeah. You did your research. Wow. The FBI needs to get this guy.
I think he was a stalking you, but it's okay.
Yeah, the riding out there is incredible. That day it was like, I don't know what it was, maybe 10,000 feet of climbing, like 3 big mountains. So definitely tested my limits and like played to my strengths too,
Yeah.
being a climber.
Punish
So,
the big guys.
yeah.
How'd you handle elevation?
I really need to think back for this one. I think I was out there for like 2 weeks before it, so it wasn't really that bad, but definitely going against some guys that live out in Colorado or at altitude made it pretty tricky.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I can almost do the same effort there, like when I'm at altitude, I just can't repeat it as well,
Yeah.
which is a big thing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
good thing Europe, most of the races aren't too high. So yeah.
Yeah, people that are born at altitude, generations of them have just superior.
Really? Is there's something to that? Like,
Yeah, I don't know the exact study to quote, but yeah, there's like if your lineage is from high altitude areas, there's just more adaptations physically, physiologically.
It's funny because everybody else in my family lives in Colorado, and we're like the only part of the family that lives in Chicago. So
Unfortunate.
yeah,
And
it's
you're the best
interesting.
cyclist in the family,
Yeah, debatable. but
arguably.
Yeah. But
So you can live out there and then come back and then race here and then you'll be good.
then you'll be come back to sea level.
Yeah.
That's a good idea actually.
So before you mentioned you go to Greenville, South Carolina to
Mhm.
train.
Yeah.
What do you like that area so much?
It's similar to Chicago where it has like a super vibrant cycling scene. Like so many riders, so many good riders too. There's a lot of like former pros out there like George Hincapie, Christian Vandevelde, Bobby Ulick, like it's too many to count. And they've made the cycling scene there really good. And then also you're in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains and the weather's good. So you can't get much better than that in the US.
Yeah.
And how do
Yeah.
the drivers treat you guys over there? The traffic.
It's surprising. Like I'd say 99 out of 100 drivers are good. Yeah.
That's a good ratio.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not like Chicago here.
Yeah. What would you say the Chicago ratio is? Sometimes you get one. Yeah.
It just depends on the day.
It's,
Yeah.
it's not a passing grade. I don't
Yeah,
know.
No, shoot.
I don't know. There's just so many cars.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the bad drivers that you remember, not the good ones.
Yeah.
Unless people give you too much room and they're delaying traffic, then I get mad at them too.
Once you get out of the city, though, there's usually not really any problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think riding and being from Chicago kind of makes you a little grittier in a racing environment?
Yeah, I'd say maybe I can shoot gaps a little tighter because I do that riding through the city.
Yeah.
But also it makes me a little cautious because like I've been hit by cars, so I kind of know how that goes down, and
You know how that feels?
yeah. I don't even remember how I felt, but yeah, it definitely makes you a better race sense, just better instincts.
Fast twitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Something fun about
Yeah,
diving through traffic.
it is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Shoot. Probably shouldn't say it on the podcast, but it is kind of fun.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Till you get
Allegedly.
Yeah, shoot.
Yeah.
Allegedly, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we're gonna try to wrap up now. So any final word you want to give to Phil? The core of what you think would advise him.
Or like,
Well,
I usually ask this like during every coffee chat. Like, what is one thing you would do or change differently if you could go back and do everything again?
before I answer that, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Like, where do you want to take cycling? What do you see with it? Do you want to go pro? Do you want to like go to a school for it, like cycling in college? What do you want to do with it?
Go pro.
Go pro?
Pro, yeah.
Go pro. Okay, that's the same thing I want to do. So I'll give you the raw advice. If I could change anything, it'd probably be, first off, stay upright on the bike.
Yeah.
I've had lots of problems with concussions by crashing a lot.
Yeah.
But no, to be honest, I'd say I wouldn't want to change anything. Just like take as many opportunities as you can, and like really, I'd say don't limit yourself. Like give it your all in training, nutrition, just everything, because like cycling's a pretty cutthroat sport, and only a few guys make it. So you really got to be one of those top guys. And I guess starting young, like you have time, but just keep racing and getting that race experience, because that's the most important thing. Definitely. Like I'm still working on it. Like I see these pros riding, and some of the things they're doing, it's like, I don't know how they're doing it. Just like, whether it be in a race or just their power numbers, but I think it all takes time. So
Yeah.
just trust the process and don't get too carried away or ahead of yourself. Definitely.
Besides raw power and stamina, what do you think is the biggest difference between someone like yourself that's up and coming and guys that are on pro teams?
Part of it's definitely down to luck, I'd say. Like, just not being in a bad wreck, or also just having that risk tolerance. I'd say it's a really big thing, because cycling's a risky sport. But if you like have confidence in yourself and your handling abilities, I feel like that'll take you pretty far. Yeah, but to be honest, I'd say the biggest thing when it comes to cycling is just power. Yeah, like that's before I like had any results, that's how I got on the big teams. Just if you have good power numbers, that'll take you pretty far.
What do you think the threshold is for someone that's like Phil, that's looking to get to the level that you're at?
Yeah.
What do you think is the minimum floor for someone in terms of watts per kilo?
Okay, I'm kind of contradicting myself, because I feel like a lot of people also do look at that and takes their like confidence away, but also you could not be the strongest guy and still be winning races. So
It's about efficiency.
yeah, it is like how aerodynamic you are, like how good you are in the group. It's like so many different things, but from a power perspective, that's hard to say, because there's so many like different types of riders. But
Look at watts per kg, like 5 watts per kg.
Yeah.
yeah, 5, probably closer to 6 for 20 minutes.
What?
If,
So twice my.
That's 3 times mine.
Yeah, if you like for the bigger junior races in the US, I'd say around that number. Yeah. But and then the pros, like, I don't know, they're doing 7 or something crazy. But yeah.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Just gotta keep
But
working.
also like yeah, that's like pinnacle, and like to get by top 10, like do well in these races, like it's also just such a wide spectrum. It's just like comes down to how you can race, and that's really the most important stuff. Yeah.
And just fighting through. I think in life too, just the more persistent you are, the more long-term success will be. If you surround yourself with people that believe in you and build you up, people like Evo, good brands like Asos and Factor, people that like believe in what you can do. I think it goes a long way, because some people, their interests change and they may be really powerful, but they want to go a different direction. So if you want it and you're persistent, success usually follows.
Yeah, so I was leaving you guys with this. There's tons of kids out there like you who are putting in the work, and they're doing what they're supposed to do to get what we're going to get to. But sometimes what makes a difference is that, as you guys you mentioned before, sometimes it's about a network. I just need to see one person to say, you know what, I'm gonna give you a chance.
Yeah.
And it is sometimes in life, it is just that simple. You try to earn it, but it's given. And again, thanks to Evo for giving me a chance to come and me and Jack to be ambassadors for Dragonspine. I mean, that's an honor to be something like that. Like, there's a bunch of guys out there that could have actually become ambassadors that earned it more than I do, put in more work, but he gave it to us. Say, you know what, you guys can be ambassadors for Dragonspine Cycling. So again, keep it in the back of your mind sometimes, that sometimes success is not earned. It's given. So just keep on putting the work, and people are watching, so be careful.
Putting in the work also probably opens more doors to opportunities like that.
And then people say, all right, I'm going to give you a chance. So brands will be like, you know what, I'm going to give Philip a chance. And by putting the work, but that's what it comes down to sometimes in life. So.
Cool. Well, Phil, Jack, thanks for joining us at Dragonspine Cycling in Chicago, Illinois. It's been a pleasure. I'm Jack.
And I'm Omar. Until we meet again, Booyakasha.
Booyakasha.